Hi guys, it's Leanne here, and today on my channel I'm going to be doing starting a business gone wrong / tips and tricks and what I've learned throughout the entire experience. And yes, so let's just get started. I do want to preface this by saying that I do have a huge list of points that I want to hit when I'm talking to you guys about this. So if I'm looking down at my phone, I'm just looking at my points. So we're gonna start off with why I started my business, and for starters I kind of just want to give backstory / like the whole story before I get into like tips and tricks and like what I've learned throughout the entire process. So the first thing I'm going to hit is why I started my business. I actually had two businesses. I had a interior decorating business, and I also had my boutique that I had. The reason why I really started my business is because I'm an entrepreneur myself. I love being my own boss. I've kind of always been independent in the sense of not like the way I word it and the way people are going to take it are going to be two different things. But if you guys have comments or questions or whatever, just put them down in the comments and I'll try to answer them. If not, I'll make another video kind of going part 2 on questions and comments that I've gotten. So for starters, for my first business that I first released is the interior decorating business. I love interior decorating. I love anything design, really. Anything that has to do with home design, I freaking love it. I've watched Flipper Flop. I've watched Fixer Upper. I've watched a couple that I can't even freaking remember, I'm going to be honest with you. I've watched Dream Home Makeovers on Netflix. I've watched, I think it's, I'll have a picture of what this particular one is, but I think it's Get Organized. But I have watched them all. Christina on the Coast, Christina in the Country. Like I said, I watched them all. And I freaking loved it so much that I wanted to pursue it. And I was in senior year originally going to go to college and pursue it full time. I ended up not going to college because of the fact that the fact that you have to pay to go to college is what gets me, and my parents make too much money for me to like get like grants and stuff from FAFSA. So I chose not to go. I found a different route later on. Did it online with QC Design School, and yeah, loved it. It is so competitive. I worked for a job for a little, I think just exactly a month, and it didn't work out on their end, but that's okay. You know, I tried. It's too competitive out here in Florida where we're growing rapidly. That is kind of like a little backstory on that. And I had it up for a while, and then I was like, you know what, I'm going to try to do another business on top. And that's when I started Country Kickin' Boutique. I no longer have it, and I'm going to be honest, I get to that later on in the video, but the main reason why I started that business is because I love going to Tennessee. I love the country. I love the nature feel, and country kickin', like country is what really like makes me feel at home. And then for kicking, it kind of just like flows together. And then boutique, a lot of people add boutique at the end of it if it's a small business. But yes, that's what I did. For kind of like the second like question / like I guess rhetorical question, if you will, it is what I did as far as setting up. So first of all, I am going to be crystal freaking clear with you guys. Do your freaking research, and I'll talk about that later in the video as well. Do your damn research. Do your research. I cannot make that clear enough, because this is what ultimately started to fail my companies. ultimately what failed it, on top of a lot of other things. But if you don't do your research, you're not gonna know what wholesale to go to, because I know that, you know, in your larger cities or in places that like have like more things surrounding, like we don't, I mean, I'm probably sure I could go like far out to like kind of like far out where I work, but it's kind of not, it's not feasible. But basically, do you want to wholesale all of your products, so buy them and then reprice them and resell them, which is ultimately what a lot of boutiques do. And other boutiques, the Cozy Sun, I think I'll have them linked down below, because I love watching their channel and I wouldn't put something in the description that I don't love. I would love to get their products, but I have other things on my mind that I want to prioritize. But not my point. But I went into a little bit of research. I looked at a couple wholesales, and then I ultimately started looking at one particular wholesale, and I bought testers of products that I wanted, you know, test out and like hopefully sell. A couple of them did flop, and that's where, once I tested them out and I, you know, the quality was good, it was soft and whatnot, I ultimately, you know, went either bought them, or the ones that weren't working, I went and replaced them, and then I tested those products out the same way I did with the first products. And then when I was done with products and I knew what I was wanting, I had them all in my room and in my possession. I ultimately did the final touches on the website. I made inventory like what I have, and for me, I did 6 to 8 depending on the price of what was. But again, that's kind of something like your budget in your first launching of a business is kind of depending on how much you can get, because some people only do 4, some people do 6. Like I said, do your research. It works. Now going into the time I launched the business to the time I deleted the website and no longer was selling any products. First of all, I do want to say, and I go into more detail in this particular subject later on in the video, promote your products. But I did semi-promotions. Now this is back in time. It was like my first full year out of high school. I was still very self-conscious. I didn't like people knowing about what I do YouTube wise, and I was very self-conscious on that, and didn't like the judgment that I felt that I was gonna get, and ultimately didn't promote my products as much as I should have. And then I also gave discounts once in a blue moon. I tried to half them off the whole website. I tried 10%. I tried like the first 100 orders. I even tried doing like a giveaway on the 100th order. It didn't work. Like literally nothing worked. And now to the part where you guys all probably clicked for what went wrong. So let me preface this by saying the whole failure of the business is what tore me down, but there are little intricate details that I should have personally, like personal details that I should have had / fixed before fully giving up. I got very disappointed and discouraged when I wasn't getting sales. I feel like I cried a couple times too, because I was not getting sales. Within the first month, I wasn't getting anything. I got people viewing it, but it wasn't the right audience. And ultimately, when you get to the point where you're very disappointed and discouraged, you get to the point where you want nothing to do with the entire subject matter, and that's, I'm assuming, how a lot of people get, especially in a business like this. Like, you know, fighting to become a business and become something more of, you know, people who like it and people who know about it. Really, like, once you get to that point, you really, and this is going to sound cliche, you get to a business block, almost kind of like a writer's block, but you get into like a business block. You're kind of not sure what you want to do anymore. You get doubts in your head. Was this a good end of my money? Is this business going to be worth it? And ultimately you start overthinking it to the point of that was my phone. You start overthinking it to the point where you aren't sure that it's the right move anymore. But what really ended up happening is I ended up deleting the website, like I said, and then I ended up taking a lot of the clothes to Plato's Closet, and whatever they didn't take, I took and donated to the local Goodwill right around the corner. And I was done. I was done with the businesses. I deleted both business websites. And I ultimately, yes, so I ended up donating the rest to Goodwill. And yeah, that was that. That's really the more summarized version of the story. Now I'm going to go into tips and tricks into becoming a better business and things that, as a first-time business owner, I wanted to know then. First of all, I said it when I first started this video, do your dang research. No matter what type of business you're going for, whether you're going for interior decorating, boutique, homemade shoes, jewelry, like whatever, do your research. Not into only the type of product you're using or, well, you're selling, or the type of product you're hand making, but do your research into what website you're going to use, what website designers that you're going to go for. So I know there's Shopify, there's I'll have some on the screen for you, but those are all some of the ones that I know personally. Do your research on that, because some of them are more intricate, some of them definitely need more getting to know and to learn how to do it. And one thing that I personally would do. Hi guys, it is Future Leanne here. I did forget to mention even like a little background story time. I don't even know what website I use, but like I said, I did not do my darn diddly squat in research, and I paid all of these fees and ridiculous amounts of fees to get, because it was like in-house, where you can get your like TIN number, like your business like number and everything. And I got scammed of money that I couldn't get back, and I was so frustrated. So when I say do your research, I literally mean do your research, because that website, I looked at like 5 to 6 different websites to give you guys, and that was not even one of them. So do your research and what website you want to use to make your own website. Is hire. I'm not really good at website design, so I'm most likely going to, whenever I start a new business, I'm most likely going to hire a website designer, because I am not good at that. And you know what, it wasn't worth my time and crying and hating it. So I'm most likely going to have someone design my own website. You also want to know what you're capable of doing and what you just virtually can't do. And that kind of goes into later parts, but you also, like I said, you want to know into where, going back into wholesale. There are 2 options really that I'm going to talk about. You can either do wholesale, or you can either do designing your own products. Now, with designing your own products, that's more intricate, because you definitely want to try to get the best of the best quality for your buck, especially that you are a first-time business. You're not going to use the same business the entire time. A lot of people switch over. A lot of people change their products a little bit and change their style a little bit. So don't feel terrified about the wholesale product or the wholesale place that you're going to use and like sticking with it. If it doesn't have your theme, don't use it. And for going into like themes, you definitely want to know what your aesthetic is. So for instance, mine was country, so I tried to stick with the cowboy country, you know, little like cows, animals, or like something that has with cowboys, you know, or the flare jeans, stuff like that. That's what I wanted to stick to. So if you're more like, if you're going for a more modern-esque type style, you definitely want to do like maybe, and for girls, leggings, maybe find like a good dupe for a Stanley Cup, crop tops, those like sports bras slash like tanks that are in style. So many things that you could stick with it within your style. You just need to know what style you're going to stick with, because I am going to be honest, sticking with that style is going to be key in getting your target audience eventually. And I kind of have this in like different order, but, and I hope it's not all over the place, but for designing your website, you definitely want to stick with your aesthetic. So again, I'm country themed and that's what I had chosen. Maybe like add a picture of maybe like you on the mountains, or a hike that you did, or even just a picture of the mountain, like when you're not on the mountain, like a picture of the mountain. Or maybe like you know, stick with your aesthetic, because it's really going to help you in the end. Because if you're pulling very modern-esque vibes and you're going for, you know, country vibes, they're gonna clash and you're not gonna get your target audience. And I think really when you want to narrow down, like eventually when you narrow down your target audience and you're starting to get people putting things in your cart, and you know, you're starting to get like 1 or 2 sales, you really want to narrow down your aesthetic to one aesthetic and stick with it, because it's going to be hard to move to another aesthetic. So if you're a very, you know, say again, I stick with country, and you're very much into oversized hoodies and tees, you know, maybe you're very much, you know, oversized type of girl, like you would rather want to wear oversized, maybe target your products to oversized, you know, like make sure you're targeting down to what you really want in your website, because it's going to help you in the end. So another tip that I would oh geez, really truly think that you guys should do when opening a business is invest in products that are going to help you get your products to your targeted customers. So when you get a sale, say you get 1 or 2 sales within the first 2 months, and you're ready to package them, but you don't have a printer, or you don't have a label maker, that's going to be hard on you. And you're going to want to get that before you even launch your business, because it's going to help you in the end. It's going to help you make that pack and ship very easy. Maybe have a layout for it, have it all set up, so when you do get a sale, you can pick those products right off those given shelves, off that given size, well, really off that given size shelf, and, you know, fold it the right way, put it in, you know, cute wrapping paper, and then put it in the bag, fold the bag, and then put that thank you sticker, those little, you know, freebies, if you will, in there, and once you label it, a label maker is really going to make it easier for you because it's one little tiny label maker. It has labels, so you just peel and stick on when you're done. That first one, it's going to take you maybe tops of like 10 minutes for that one, you know, for that one, whether it, you know what I'm saying? So it's going to make that process a lot faster, and that's what you want, because your first couple customers are going to make or break your business as a whole, because they're probably going to be one of the first ones to write, whether that's on email, whether that's on Google reviews or Yelp or something to that effect. They're going to most likely review your products once you get them, how long it's going to take them, and that's what you want in the end, is good reviews. Really, this kind of goes into behind the scenes of a business owner, but once you start getting sales, dedicate a business bank account. If you can do a business account, some of them cost money if you're a small business owner, some of them don't. You really just kind of got to spend the time to see which bank is better for you, and it really kind of boils back down to the budget that you put, which I do want to stress that budgeting your first launch is key, because in the end you're going to spend that much, and you know how much you wasted in products and time and money if it didn't work out. You know what I'm saying? Just for your like mental notes, getting a business account would be more ideal, because it makes you look more professional, and on top of that, if anything were to go wrong with your business, financially, or when you get to the point in the year where you need to start paying taxes and you've gotten a couple sales but not a lot, you can go back and refer to that business bank account, and it makes you look a little bit better, again, more professionally, rather than anything else. For the last part, I really just want to boil it down to things that I've learned, so kind of just concluding everything that I talked about, because I did just talk about a lot. Number one, never feeling discouraged or disappointed when you don't get sales within the first month, because it's going to take a long time for your target audience to come to you. And when you're promoting your products on all socials, whether that be Facebook, Twitter, whether that be Linktree, whether that be Instagram, your YouTube channel, Snapchat, like all of those social medias, the more you promote your website and your products, the more people that are going to want to look at your website, and the more people that are going to most likely buy your products. And again, when you want to, or when you're going to promote, don't just promote your website, promote, and that's another thing that I never really specified but did go wrong, is I promoted my website, but I never promoted the products. So I wasn't, you know, taking pictures in my products once in a blue moon. I was literally just promoting my website, so no one really got to see what was on the website before they clicked to the website. So the website was really a freaking mystery. And you really don't want that, because at the end of the day, people are going to want to know, because if they say, oh, like that cute little trendy jumpsuit, that black long sleeve jumpsuit that's going trendy on TikTok at the moment, going viral on TikTok at the moment, they look at that product and be like, oh my god, I want to try it. That's why they click. They click because they've seen the product. They don't click because they want to look at your products. They want to click because they've seen a product or one of your many products and they thought it was cute, or they thought it was trendy, or they thought it was something that someone else would like. And going back into all that, patience is key. Never care about what people are going to think of you, your products, your website, even down to you being a social media influencer, because really that's what you're eventually going to come to, is a social media influencer. Don't ever let that get to you, because then it's going to start affecting your work, and that's going to start affecting your website and your products, and then it leads to failure, really. And that's what you don't want. You want your business to succeed. And a big tip is for those people who do have a following, I would advise to wait till you have a little bit of a following, or maybe get to see what, you know, do polls to see what your people like before you do a launch, because then you know what they like compared to what you like. So that way you can really combine your business into one and really have both what you and your audience have. So now you already have audience on deck. Now you just need to pull it all together by making the website. I hope that this video really at least put some of the basics out there for you guys. I loved making this video. I actually spent all day today putting all of this together for you guys. And at the end of the day, whether your business succeeds or fails, the fact that you tried is what makes you an entrepreneur. The fact that you put yourself out there, you put your time, your effort into the product and into your business, really. Whether that fails or succeeds, you shouldn't get too butthurt about it, because that means you have room for improvement. That way, maybe in 2 years down the road, you can really took what you learned and throw it out there and maybe have something way better, way bigger. And maybe, hell, you even grew a following. You maybe have a lot more subscribers or followers, or you know, you've grown as a person. So taking all of that in consideration, I hope you guys' businesses succeed, and I hope you guys have a wonderful new year. My drink. Oh, I started already. Hi guys, it's Leanne here, and today on my channel, I have a huge list of things. Hold on, I need to find that. Preference, or for like representation. God damn it. This is why I don't film these videos that often. Just put them down in the description, or the I wish I had my phone thing here, but I'm using it in the kitchen. But oh, I'm a genius. I'm a genius. Hold on. Now I don't know if it's gonna be in view. Look at me. Look at me. Authentic, being a YouTuber type shit. And there we go. That way I don't have to keep holding my phone. That's why I bought this little doohickey. But it's too competitive out here in Florida, where we're growing really good. My ear. And like I said in the beginning, I like really want to be an entrepreneur. I don't have to add that. I already said that. didn't like the judgment that I was felt, didn't like the judgment that I felt that I was gonna get. And but now I'm gonna do I'm gonna go into tips and tricks. Hold on, my foot is starting to hurt. Now I'm gonna go into tips and trick website, you know, like website design, not like do your research into or hire. Next time, the best, try to get deep. You definitely want, and you're most likely not going to use that same business the entire time sorry if my eye gets red. I don't know what happened. And damn. Damn. And I'm gonna try to summarize this.